Have you ever wondered what's really going on inside the mind of someone with a super high IQ? Well, today we're going to go way beyond the stereotypes of weird geniuses and test scores. We're going to look inside the mind and really understand the psychology of high intelligence.
So, what is it really like? I mean, for real. It's so much more than just solving puzzles faster than everyone else. We're about to dive into how it fundamentally changes the way a person processes information, feels emotions, and just interacts with the world.
And that right there, that's the core idea for this whole explainer. See, high intelligence isn't just a simple boost in brain power. It's more like you're running a completely different cognitive operating system. And it shapes a totally unique reality, one that comes with its own incredible strengths, but also some really surprising challenges.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about what you can honestly call a cognitive superpower, the pattern-seeking brain. This is this incredible, almost automatic tendency to look past all the individual details and see the underlying systems connecting everything. Instead of just seeing a bunch of chess moves, this kind of mind sees the entire strategic landscape of the game all at once. Now, the engine that powers this ability is something psychologists call fluid intelligence. And this isn't about facts you've memorized. Nope, this is the raw ability to see abstract relationships and solve problems you have never, ever seen before. Think of it like a universal toolkit. Most of us might have a hammer for a nail, right? But fluid intelligence is like walking into a room with a brand new puzzle and being able to build the perfect tool to solve it, completely from scratch.
So, how does this actually work? Well, it's pretty much a constant three-step loop. First, the brain just soaks up a massive amount of information. Then, almost instantly, it starts detecting the hidden patterns and rules swimming around in all that data. And finally, it compresses all of that complexity into a simple, elegant mental model. It's literally like turning total informational chaos into a clear, usable blueprint. And that ability, that skill of building these mental models, that's precisely why highly intelligent people so often excel at really complex problem solving, innovation, and strategic long-range planning. They're not just reacting to what's happening now. They're using those mental blueprints to actually simulate the future. But here's the thing about having such a powerful engine, right? It can be really, really hard to turn it off. The very same analytical superpower that lets you solve impossible problems can actually become a challenge to manage. This is where that incredible strength can lead directly into the trap of overthinking. And this shows the two sides of that coin perfectly. The gift of deep analysis can easily become the burden of analysis paralysis. That's where you see so many options and potential outcomes that just making a simple choice feels impossible. And that amazing ability to simulate possibilities, it can get you stuck in these awful rumination loops where you're just endlessly replaying what if about the past and if only about the future. This quote really just sums it all up. The same cognitive depth that allows them to solve complicated problems can also make it difficult to switch off their thoughts. That depth, it's a feature, not a bug. But what it means is that the mind is always on. It's constantly analyzing, constantly processing, and that can be absolutely mentally exhausting. Okay, so this constant processing, it doesn't just apply to logic and systems. It shapes the entire inner world. Because, you see, intelligence isn't just about thinking. It's also deeply, deeply connected to how we feel. In fact, those same cognitive processes that shape our thoughts can have a really profound impact on our emotions. So here's the crucial point. That same brain power that amplifies logic can also amplify emotion. There's a really strong link between high intelligence and a heightened sensitivity, and this often leads to stronger, more profound emotional responses. It's almost like experiencing the world with the emotional volume knob turned all the way up. And what kinds of things trigger these really intense feelings? Well, a lot of the time, it's these big, abstract, complex concepts. Things like ethical dilemmas, injustice, or worrying about the future of society. And this makes perfect sense, right? When you remember that pattern-seeking brain is always trying to understand the biggest systems of all, how the world works, and where we fit inside of it. Which brings us to a really fascinating paradox. If there's this capacity for such deep feeling and empathy, why is it that highly intelligent people so often report feeling, disconnected or even lonely?
Well, this experience of social mismatch often boils down to a fundamental difference in cognitive style. I mean, when your interests are more abstract and your brain processes conversations at a totally different speed and you just crave depth over small talk, it can be really hard to find your frequency with other people. It's not that you don't want to connect, it's that you feel like you're operating on a different wavelength.
And let's be super clear here. This isn't about arrogance at all. It's about a fundamental need for a different kind of connection, one that's built on shared curiosity and intellectual engagement. And when high IQ individuals do find their tribe, the connections they make can be unbelievably deep and rewarding. So let's try to bring all these different threads together. We've seen that high intelligence is absolutely a double-edged sword. The same pattern-seeking brain that creates incredible problem solvers can also lead to crippling overthinking. And the same emotional depth that fosters empathy can also create this intense sensitivity. It's a framework for a completely different kind of human experience. It shapes reality itself.
This table really lays out that central theme just beautifully. For every strength, there is a challenge. Pattern recognition, fantastic for solving problems, but it can lead straight to overthinking. That deep emotional core, it fosters incredible empathy, but it also creates intense sensitivity. It's a package deal. And understanding this is the first step to really harnessing the power of a high IQ mind while managing its challenges.
And at the end of the day, this is really the main takeaway. Understanding the psychology of high intelligence isn't about ranking people or trying to label anyone as better. It's about appreciating the incredible diversity of the human mind and just recognizing that there are fundamentally different ways of processing and interacting with the world.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. This unique cognitive architecture, with all of its power and all of its complexity. Is it a gift, a burden, or is it, most profoundly, both at the same time? What do you think? Thanks for joining us.